Let's talk living alone. Living by yourself poses an interesting quandary because there are pros and there are cons. The pros outweigh the cons, period. Living alone poses two major negatives. One being loneliness. Two, financial issues. Most people who end up living by themselves, especially, after college or out of high school, stuff like that, you're not likely to have a job that's going to be able to pay for everything that you need to pay for. There are obvious variations to living by yourself, especially when it comes to the financial aspect of it. You can live by yourself and then, let's say your parents are paying for your car, or they're paying for your insurance, or paying for part of your rent, or maybe they're paying for nothing, or maybe they're paying for everything. The problem with somebody else paying for anything that you're, let's say they're paying for your electric bill, gas bill, water bill, all that stuff. Let's say they're paying for all that stuff, but they're making you pay for the rent and all that. In all likelihood, they will have some measure of intrusion into your life because of the fact that they're paying for you to persist in this. If they notice that the electric bill just skyrockets, they're gonna be like, what the fuck's going on? Maybe they're gonna want to inspect the place or something, I don't know. You have to deal with that potentiality if somebody is paying for whatever you're using. Now, if you're paying for everything, the problem with that is you're likely not to have a lot of disposable income available to you. Now, maybe you've decided to take on a couple of jobs, so now you don't have a lot of disposable time on your hands. So it's either time or money in that particular situation. If you know what you're going after, if in your heart of hearts that you've got this idea and you're going after it and that is what your life is about, then it's not going to be an issue. The solitude thing, it can be alleviated for the most part, but it's still there. Sometimes maybe you're just there by yourself. Maybe you're just feeling a little lonely and there's nobody there to talk to. There's nobody there to, get a hug from, or just have, their personal self in that spot. And depending on your work hours, that can also sort of exacerbate the situation. I work later hours. I can't really call up on people and just have them kind of come over and talk to them or hang out with them or whatever. That has to be something that you bear in mind when you live by yourself. Something less of an issue, but still an issue, is dealing with chores. Any and all responsibilities when living by yourself are ultimately all up to you. Now, the cool thing about dealing with chores is that you get to do them on your own time frame, but you still have to do them all. You have to do your laundry. Doing your laundry is not that big of a deal. I'm going to tell you right now, though, if you ever live by yourself, make sure you live in a place that has the potential for a washer or dryer hookup. Having to go to a laundromat all the time is boring and sucks. That's a convenience factor that I highly recommend. You got to do all the chores yourself. With all the bills thing, if let's say you run low on cash and now you have an emergency, what can you do? Whereas if you were living with somebody else, you could split the bills up, you have more disposable income like earlier, and you can kind of take care of circumstances. So you have to be more cautious about a lot of stuff too. The pros, on the other hand, the best reason for living alone: privacy. I can't tell you how amazing that level of privacy is. I mean, I know people who, they live in a house with other people and they're like, oh, I got my privacy. I'm like, you don't understand what privacy is until you have it. You can be sitting there and you realize there's nobody here. That kind of solitude is wonderful. That is an amazing feeling. You have control over your comfort when it comes to the overall environment within the confines of your abode. Hell, let's just go ahead and talk about one thing that's going to be on everybody's mind: sex. You can have sex anywhere in your place and you're not going to be bothering anybody. You get to make all the noise, you get to do all the stuff you want. You can fuck on the kitchen counter, you can do it on the table, on the couch, on the bed, you can do it in the shower. You can do it in all of those places if you want. You could be doing it in the middle of the goddamn living room. They could be giving you a blowjob or whatever, and there's so much freedom to it. It's wonderful how much freedom it is to it. I don't think a lot of people get this. I don't think people really know how important this is until it happens. But when you live by yourself, things stay where they were. If you live in your house with other people, ask yourself this question. If you put $100 bill on your coffee table in your living room, if you went to work and you left that $100 and you came back, would it still be there? Because where I live, it would. That's the great thing. Everything stays where it was. You don't have people messing with shit. You know, you get to eat your own food, and you don't have other people eating the food that you like, fucking you over out of opportunities. And, you know, and that's the great thing. It's that freedom. There's so much fucking freedom. I cannot explain it well enough. I mean, you just have to have that experience to really know what it's like. It's wonderful to have so much freedom. You know, the bills, the loneliness, yeah, they suck. But they are far outweighed. Few to no disruptions. I don't have people coming over at my house barging in because they can. You know, because it's their house. No, it's my fucking place. You don't have to worry about other people dirtying the place up. You don't have to worry about the trash not getting taken out at a certain time. Or maybe you're the other way around. Maybe you're unkempt. And maybe you don't want somebody harping on your ass all the time about throwing trash out, cleaning the place up, picking up your clothes, and blah, blah, blah. I do things my way. I'm not living under your rules, and that's wonderful, and that's the thing. That is one of the things that we should embrace when you live by yourself, is the fact that you get to live by your rules. It's wonderful. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. You know, I found that one of the biggest issues that I had when I wasn't able to live by myself was that my comings and goings were monitored in some fashion or another. Whether they were simply because I was interrupting someone's sleep, or because maybe my entrance was noisier than preferred and so somebody thought I was angry or whatever. You can come and go as you please at any hour of the day. There's no inquiry as to where you're going, when you're going to be back. You have to be back by this time, and so on and so forth. Maybe I'll go out to the bar. You can come and go as you please. Have fun with that.